Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be in the Open Ultra League, and let's see what team we're running today. Running the Registeel with the Guzzlord and Giratina. So we're going to try to catch a move here. No matter what, this should be resisted. Our opponent ends up staying in, and unfortunately it's running the Alolan Sand Flash here. So this is terrible for this Giratina. This is just going to be a matter of how much chip damage we can do. Our opponent ends up having the absolute core breaker for our entire team here. This is probably going to be a situation where we sack the Registeel and hope that the Guzzlord can sweep at the back. But this is a glaring weakness within this team. So if you're happening to have this team, you got to be watching out for Sand Slash. Even though you don't see a bunch of Sand Slash, you do have to unfortunately deal with that kind of a core breaker. So we are going to let that Registeel go through, and then we're just going to come in with their Guzzlord. This Guzzlord is unfortunately facing a Golisopod with X Scissor, and that is absolutely horrible for us because we were hoping that the Golisopod has the Aero A so we can survive more of these moves here. At this point, we are going to try to take out this Giratina. Unfortunately, this Giratina has 2 shields to deal with, so this is looking almost impossible, especially since they still have that Golisopod. So this is GG's, unfortunately for us. And they had a move, so yeah, that is way overkill. So I think we're going to adjust this team a little bit. We are, really weak to some Sand Slash, and we actually switch out into the Registeel just for a little bit more coverage. And then here we're going to be staying in because we know we can survive 1 Blast Burn. However, we are going to try to throw this Zap Cannon back. We're going to try to get a shield back, so that's kind of good. And then we're going to try to catch a move here. Unfortunately, we don't catch a move. They actually throw the move still. And then so they're going to be switching out into the Giratina. So this situation here is a little bit better, as even if we lose this matchup right here, we're going to have a Registeel that is going to be able to get a ton of energy off of this Registeel. So that's the idea here. We're going to let this go. We don't want to use up any more shields or energy, and then we're gonna. Oh, we actually come back in with the Guzzlord. Okay, I guess we're anticipating that this Guzzlord is going to be really good for their entire team. It looks like we're gonna tank. Okay, and then we're going to throw this Dragon Claw to potentially take out this, okay, and then unfortunately for us, ends up being the Poliwrath. So this Poliwrath right here, we have a little bit of energy advantage, and then we're going to switch out. Now it is in range of Zap Cannon. We throw the Zap Cannon, and this should take out this Poliwrath. But now, are we going to be able to get to a Focus Blast to take out this Charizard is the question. Unfortunately, we do not. Our opponent ends up throwing the Dragon Claw, leaving them with a sliver of health, which allows them to get to another Dragon Claw right there. So that's a well play. I don't know if that was an undercharge by my opponent right there, but that was literally down to 1 fast move. So GG's right there. Next game here, we're going to be facing the Toxicroak here. This Toxicroak is going to be able to do some super effective. So we're going to switch out into the Giratina when we have a chance. And then we're going to be met with a Ampharos. This Ampharos is an interesting switch because it's being resisted for their fast moves, but they're going to be able to throw Brutal Swings. This Brutal Swing, we're going to shield here, and then we're going to throw this Dragon Claw. This Dragon Claw does go through, and then they decide to immediately throw a move with their Toxicroak. Unfortunately for them, we are able to get to another Dragon Claw right here. And then they throw another Mud Bomb to take out this Giratina. And then now we have no choice but to go in with our Guzzlord. This Guzzlord is going to be met with a Swampert. Looks like we have the decision to make to shield this potential Earthquake or not. Ends up being the Earthquake, which is great for us. So that means that we are going to be able to throw this Dragon Claw a little bit later. And I don't think that we need to unnecessarily switch at this point. So we're just going to allow them to throw the Earthquake and then throw this Dragon Claw after a couple of fast moves. Take out the Swampert, and then we know that we have energy on our Registeel. One Mud Bomb does not take out this Reggie, so we are able to survive that, and then we're going to throw this Zap Cannon to take out this Toxicroak right here. So GG's to our opponent. And on to the next game here. So ultimately, we decided to go back with our Reggie Double Dragon team. The Cresselia, unfortunately, was just a little bit too fragile to potential Shadow Claw users. So here we have the Walrein versus the Reggie. We definitely want to stay in. This Zap Cannon here will do a significant amount of damage, but more importantly, it has a potential to debuff. So we do get the debuff. We definitely don't shield this one. And our opponent ends up switching into their Giratina, but our Giratina knows Dragon Breath, so it's applying a lot of fast move pressure. We are going to let this one go, and then we're going to try to get to another Dragon Claw here. Unfortunately, they get to it first, and then we're going to throw this Dragon Claw immediately to basically potentially get a shield. We do get a shield, and then we are just going to be okay, and they actually just give up. They must be really weak to Registeel in the back. Okay, next game. Let's see. Ooh, Skeledrit here. We're gonna switch out immediately because the Registeel would absolutely lose. Our opponent, interesting enough, has a Shadow Ball go through, so that tells us they don't really have a hard counter to this Giratina. Unfortunately, they did a huge amount of damage, and they go for the bait. So that bait right there is going to allow us to get to a Shadow Sneak right here. We're going to try to get to another Dragon Claw. Unfortunately, they throw another move, but this allows our Registeel to get a ton of energy. So this Registeel here is going to be able to tank all these moves. So the Cresselia never had Moonblast. They are running the Grass Knot Future Sight version. So it makes sense that they threw the Grass Knot. Okay, we do get the farm down after undercharging that Focus Blast, and then we're going to be able to throw this Zap Cannon right back at this Skeledrit. We get the debuff, which is fantastic. Because they got debuff, we're going to let this one go. They end up baiting, and then we're going to switch. This time we have to shield here, even though it's not stab and it's debuffed. We want to keep this Guzzlord pretty healthy, as we have found out that they don't really want to see the Guzzlord because they didn't really switch out when they had the Giratina come in. Here we are going to be able to tank a lunge pretty easily, and then we're going to be racing to the next Dragon Claw. Fortunately for us, we do get to the next Dragon Claw. 2 Dragon Claws ends up taking out the Galvantula, so that's no problem. We're going to allow this Disarming Voice to go through, and luckily for us, we still have energy on our Reggie to take out this Skeledrit here. And that is how we end that game right there. So check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.